Been a while since I casted a Wood Elf game, and of course, Attack Speed Enjoyer is the one that's going to supply this Wood Elf replay. It is one of their favorite, if not their favorite faction, from what I can tell. So they should do them justice. We have, as well, on the other side, Lizardmen, run by a no-name player. I guess Mazda Mundi's just kind of running the show, no player needed. Let's see how Mazda does leading the armies of Hexawaddle. We have for the Wood Elves, a Glade Lord on a stag, very nice, with Arrows of Kurnus and Prey of Anathrema. No surprise there. 3 Way Watchers, just going to do good stuff all around, obviously. As long as you protect them with your fantastic cav, they should do great work. But Solar Engines will obviously do great work in return. But yeah, just that AP is fantastic all across the board. That's why you see Swift Shiver Shards a lot for Glade Guard, because the AP is just great across Lizardmen, against into the Lizardmen, because they have a lot of high armor stuff. Very, very little low armor stuff aside from skinks. So yeah, they can protect themselves and whatnot, though you don't want them in combat for sure. Great Stag Knights, double plus 3 Wild Riders, one being the ROR. They have, yeah, you know what they do. They're pretty great all around. And we have a Spell Singer with Regrowth. Hopefully the Great Stag Knights do well. I've been seeing them a lot more lately. I'd love to see them, honestly. They do some good work. We have, for the Lizardman, the Lord Master Mundi himself, most powerful of his generation, taught by Lord Croak himself. Let's see what he can do against these stinky Wood Elves. We have Ruination of Cities, plus Banishment, Arcane Unforging, Net, and Apotheosis. Going all out, really, plus his Sunburst and Arcane Unforging. Arcane Conduit. We have, for the rest of the army, some Saurus. 2 of them, don't really like them in this matchup, but I do love Saurus. Rather, it's 3 of them. I do love Saurus, so obviously I'm happy to see them, but I don't think they're great in this matchup. Very, very not good in this matchup at all, in fact, because of how slow they are. But honestly, most matchups, Saurus aren't good, so it's not saying much. 3 Feral Cold Ones, along with 3 Cold One Riders, and actually, is it 1, 2, 3, 4 Feral Cold Ones, excuse me, and 3 Cold One Riders. Basically, same build I take aside from Saurus. And missing another solar engine. But yeah, we have a solar engine. And we have a single skink cohort on the flanks. Don't really like having this skink out here, just sitting there with no protection, because Wild Rider can just get a cheeky little charge there, get some free value. Obviously, your cold ones could try to catch them out, but the likelihood of that happening before they do the damage, very unlikely. But yeah, double solar engine is fantastic here. Just one is obviously still going to do good work as they snipe at the Way Watchers, which is what I want them to be doing the entire game, is just shooting at Way Watchers. Don't change your targets. Shoot at the freaking Way Watchers. Do that. Snipe out models. Provide that accuracy debuff. You really want them mixing a lot of their shots, and you want them losing models as well. Shooting at the Wild Riders is okay because it does provide, again, that blinded debuff, which, as you could tell, it isn't just an accuracy buff, it's melee defense and melee attack, so it can help your cav fight out a lot if you shoot at those cav units. And, possibly sniping out a, Wild Hunters of Kurnus model could be pretty beautiful. They only have 40 armor, so the Solar Engine, notorious for not having that great of AP, should do good into those. But yeah, anyways, Great Stag Knights get a nice little charge, cheeky little charge there in the Saurus Warriors, while the Glade Lord, or rather just before that, the Glade Lord stops their formation and forces the Lizardman player to have to try to brute force them to move past it. Great Stag Knights capitalize that and get a charge there. On the other flank, Wild Riders get a cheeky little charge there on the Skinks, and the Cold Ones are a little late to respond, but they do a bit of damage to the Wild Riders. Either that or it's the Javelins. We have a Ruination of Cities going down on the Way Watchers, doing some pretty decent work. Look at that. My god. Nice. Knocking off a few models there. The Great Stag Knight's taken quite a bit of damage. Definitely need a regrowth, and the leadership is not looking too great either. And down to 17. The damage by artillery is not helping for sure. Honestly, shooting at the Great Stag Knights is okay as well, just to provide that that flaming damage, so they get less healing. Yeah, right now would be a perfect chance to shoot at them. But instead, the Lizardman player, is going to shoot at the Wild Hunters, which understandable. You're trying to provide that blinded debuff, and in fact, it actually missed, so it didn't provide that blinded debuff at all, unfortunately. But yeah, the Saurus do get caught out and are probably going to route down to 6th leadership, maybe stabilize. We'll see. Yeah, that's why I don't really like Saurus in this matchup, because it is so slow and they'll take a lot of damage from these cav charges no matter. Well, not as much as Skinks, obviously, but you get the point. The Great Stag Knights and Wild Riders are tied up in a fight with the Cold One Riders and Feral Cold Ones. Definitely would throw down the Shoulder the Old Ones here rather than over there, or rather keep somebody a little closer to your cav fights, because your cav's extremely important here. Your Cold One Riders, you need them really, really badly to try to fight back the Wild Riders, and so your Cold Ones can either A, flanking support those Wild Riders, or get around the Wild Riders while they're occupied and get on top of the Way Watchers. And this is also where Skinks would pay dividends as well. Taurus can't get on top of the Way Watchers fast enough, though I guess they will hold off these cav chargers for a lot longer than Skinks will. Either way, Skink cohorts are chasing after this for some reason. Definitely should be making their way over here instead. Same with these Skinks as well. They should be moving up, pushing the Way Watchers back. You really need to put as much strain on the Wood Elves micro as possible and surround them, because they went for a smaller, a leader army, and so you need to surround them with your numbers. But we do have an Arrows of Kurnus going down, hitting Mazda Mundi, doing moderate damage, nothing too shabby. The Wood Elf player is doing pretty fantastic with their Glade Lord, just utilize them in the proper areas, shutting down those Skinks so they can't throw their javelins, and just finding the opportune moments to send their Glade Lord in and disrupt combat a bit. Taurus take another brutal charge there from the Wild Riders. Same on this side, on the point as well. They take a charge from the Waters of Kurnus. Though the Feral Cold Ones try to get a counter charge in, and they do actually get that counter charge in, doing a little bit of damage, not too much, but any damage matters whenever Wild Hunters are so beat up. Priya going down on Lord Mazda, gonna give him that minus 20% missile resistance, so that Sunburst is helping quite a bit, plus that Ward Save as well. And we get that Shoulder of the Old Ones, plus the leadership, so helping out a lot. Otherwise, these Way Watchers will be doing quite a bit of damage. I say that, but the Hawkeyes and Jakiras are actually luckily disrupted by the Saurus Warriors, so they're not able to get their full volleys off into Lord Mazda, helping him tremendously. A banishment possibly going down here, hitting the Wild Riders plus the Wild Hunters. Ooh, let's see here, doing some okay work. We do have a regrowth possibly going in there. On which one of these? On Wild Hunters, it definitely would not be worth it at all, because of how beat up they already are at that point. So that's pretty good for the Lizardmen side there. We're losing that, seeing that regrowth go down. Arcane and Fortune for some reason going down on the Great Stag Knights. Definitely a weird choice. I'd rather that go in on the Glade Lord or maybe the Spellsinger, just to try to snipe them out. But yeah, definitely not worth it on the Great Stags. I like that cooldown effect that Arcane and Fortune has. I understand wanting to whittle them down a bit. Just not worth it to me. Way Watchers continuously kiting back and forth, shooting at Saurus or Skinks right now, which is obviously a waste because they have those bronze shields. Another Arrows of Kurnus hitting the Lord Mazda, doing a little bit of damage, but Apotheos is going to heal him back up, not doing too much. Well, Bastillodon continuously firing in. What are they shooting at right now? Shooting at the Great Stags, or Wild Riders, excuse me, try to possibly finish them off, and that possibly does end up finishing them off, as provides that -10 from artillery fire. So, riding those guys off. Though, again, please start firing over here at these guys right now. Shoot, teen, here. Nothing else matters. I guess you can get some crossfires into the Great Stag Knights, which would not be a bad idea, because of that damage by artillery debuff, obviously, is going to be very nice. Because right now they only have under missile fire. So, and they already have very low leadership. I'm telling you, like one or two few shots into these stags and Wild Riders would do tremendous work. But they are moving them up. Maybe that's possibly what they're going for. And it does seem like that's what they're going for. A nice little cross shot. Is that going to do much? It does knock off a model or two. We do have the Spell Singer jumping in there, disrupting the infantry from the Lizardmen, trying to stop them from getting on top of the Way Watchers. Way Watchers continuously firing in. What are they shooting at right now? Nothing too much. They don't have a target at the moment. Another shot in there from the Bastillodon, hitting those great stags. Reduce that melee attack and melee defense. Balance of power looking to be in favor of the Wood Elves a little bit. Slowly ticking in favor even more now that the infantry is dissipating for the Lizardman side. What is going down here? An Arcane Forging going down to the Glade Lord. And they do take a hit from the Bastillodon as well. So it might end up getting sniped down here. We'll see. If the Bastillodon maybe shoots a shot in. Nope, they're out of ammunition. I don't think the Glade Lord will die here. I mean, they still have 6-5. No, they'll live. Another banishment going down to the Hawkeye's Jakira, killing a few models maybe, possibly. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Actually, HP damage, maybe killing off a model or two at most. Not too shabby. A regrowth going down here on the Great Stags, going to heal them up. Very important for this late game, though they only have 11 models left. Still, it adds up for sure. The Bastillodon continuously chasing after the Way Watchers. It is going to get rear charged by the Great Stags, but it has immune to flanking, so it doesn't really give a hoot about being charged in the rear. Another Arrows of Kernus going down on Lord Mazda, not doing a whole lot there. Sure, the other ones going down on top of him as well to help give him some leadership and word save. Reduce any of that damage coming in from Way Watchers or from the Glade Lord. But the Glade Lord is out of ammo, so... Speaking of out of ammo, Way Watchers are pretty much out of ammo except for this one. It does have 6, which could provide a lot in this late game scenario. Another Arcane Unfortunate going down to Glade Lord. Considering how low they were, I don't think that was worth it at all. Would rather save for an Apotheosis or a net. Save like a net on like a Great Stags, get a rear charge with the Feral Cold Ones, or get a net on the Way Watchers. I understand not wanting to get too close to them, but imagine a net on the Way Watchers that have still ammunition left. Net on those guys, and getting a charge in there with the Feral Cold Ones plus the Bastillodon. Man, those guys would rout so quickly. But I get it, trying to get rid of that Glade Lord provided that leadership debuff, but I don't think it was worth it at all. Yeah, either the Great Stag Knights or the Way Watchers would have been the correct choice, in my opinion. But either way, Great Stag Knights getting a rear charge there on Mazda. We do have those Feral Cold Ones trying to save their Slan, and they do get a little bit of a rear charge. Some damage maybe on the Great Stags, not really. A bit of a chip, if that. Mostly on the Way Watchers. Way Watchers will be able to fight them off, however, as they have more in numbers. Numbers matter the most. A Skink's coming back. What else do we have for both sides? Not a whole lot. These Way Watchers might eventually come back. They still have 4 volleys, which could pay massive dividends, which I think is very, very scary in this late game scenario. Another possible regrowth on the Great Stags. Man, these regrowths are just picking up so much freaking value from the Great Stags. They had still 11 models left. Another showed that the old ones going down, trying to keep these Feral Cold Ones and Skinks in play. But unfortunately, those Feral Cold Ones are going to rout. Same with possibly the Skink cohorts as well. Though, staying steady at 6 leadership, and the Bastillodon might make it in time to get a rear charge on the Great Stags. Though I don't think it'll matter too much. I believe that the Wood Elf player has this, but obviously things could turn around as they do have a Bastillodon, which is very hard to kill monster in this late game without any ammunition. But again, these Way Watchers do have 3 volleys left. Obviously the best choice is to shoot at Mazda, even though he dodges and weaves like the big old space toad he is. He is very flexible, very maneuverable. The Bastillodon gets a nice charge in the Great Stags, trying to stop them from getting to Mazda Mundi. But unfortunately, I think Mazda Mundi is possibly going to fall here. Cold-Blooded going down, trying to get that leadership stabilized. Same with the Show to the Old Ones as well. And yeah, that leadership, that army losses are kicking in possibly as the leadership goes for Lord Mazda. And yeah, GG's. Good match. Extremely well played by both players. That was a very tight, very close game. The Glade Lord, what value did you pick up? 1,014. Not bad. I think it definitely could have gone either way depending on a few plays from Lord Mazda there. Obviously, they are not led by a player, so you got to give them a little bit of a break. But you think the smartest and most powerful of the second generation of Slan would be able to make better decisions. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. Lord Mazda, you did great. Love you. 1114 there, Jan the Glade Lord. Rosa Kernus did alright. Not so great on single entities, or at least Lord Mazda, who has that missile resistance. And I don't think it even does good into as good into Cav anymore. It still does okay, but not anywhere near as good as it was before, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd probably just use it on Cav. Or if you really want to use it on a single entity, I guess maybe the Bastillodon. Even then, that's debatable. Yeah, probably just a Cav. But everything else, 717, or 1717, 1865, and 1420. No surprise there. Weight Watchers did great. You've really, really got to surround the Wood Elves army formation with the army this small. But the Wood Elf player also just played this incredibly well with their Glade, both with their Glade Lord and their Cav, cycle charging effectively, and choosing the correct targets for their Way Watchers. And just overall, just playing well. 1104, 817, 704 here, 1038 on the Wild Riders, and 1030. Yeah, the two Great Stags did okay. This one in particular did 1104, 817. It didn't pay for itself, but it still did okay. Up to, I think was it this one or this one? I think this one is the one that pretty much saved the Wood Elves there, beating Mazda Mundi back. So yeah, I like them here. They're not too shabby. They trade pretty effectively into all of the Wood Elf Cav, aside from maybe Horde ones. But even then, I wouldn't want to bring Horde ones in this matchup. So yeah, fantastic. 1030 on the Wild Hunters, 1030 on this one. Yeah, Wild Riders are great here, no surprise. They trade pretty good as well into Spear Riders, Cold One Riders, and Feral Cold Ones. Definitely is a scenario where the Lizardmen player needs to support their Cold One Riders, either with Feral Cold Ones or with some range support from like their Skinks. Or magical support, of course. It's a given. Either way, Lizardman side with Lord Mazda, 3005 value did pretty great. No surprise there. I mean, the banishments were okay. The ruinations of cities, I only saw one. I'm sure another one probably did pretty good. If I do catch it out in the cinematics, I'll throw it up here. Yeah, just great. Just a fantastic Lord. I love Mazda in this matchup, or in most matchups, and either him or a Fire Slam. I like him for his healing and his net. Everything else, nothing too noteworthy. Those Skodron Riders unfortunately got crumped heavily. This one barely making back some of their value. 817 here. The other one's got 93 and 79. That is horrendous. And 2076 on the Solar Engine. Very good. Yeah, the Solar Engines are just too freaking good to not take two of them, but I understand if you don't want to be cheesy about it. It does feel like cheese at times when using double Solar Engine. Yeah, just extremely effective in this matchup and a lot of matchups. That good. But yeah, I will catch you guys next time with another one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.